like, it's important to tell people, inform people there's a problem with environmental issues, but how do you think is the best way for people to understand? Do you think that it's through finding personal stories? How do you think is the best way to tell those stories?
I think as I'm focused on local areas, there is a specific way of sensitizing or talk to this topic to the people. In village, for example, we know that the first activity is agriculture. And when the environment, there is no rain, the products cannot grow. And everybody knows it in the village. And when there is bushfire, there are many difficulties with many agricultures in the different villages. So you give an example of people who got big plantation of cocoa in the villages. For example, in my village, in Yamoussoukro, near Yamoussoukro, in the former time, you can see our elders that got big plantation of cocoa. But with fire, we no more find these cocoa trees. When you get to them and explain that if you feel that or you see that there is no rain this time, it's because we don't protect our environment. And everything that you get is from our plantation. If you don't protect your environment, it will not be possible for you to get money to pay the school fees of your children. Sending a child to schools in some different villages is a problem of family. Sometimes you don't have money, you can go to see your brother or your sister to say, this year I have these difficulties, can you help me? But if you don't protect the environment, your sister too, your cousins, it means that you destroy the future of your family, because your children, they will not get money to go to school, because everything that you get provide from agricultural activities. So this is the system or the strategy we use to inform them, to tell them you see the impact. In the former time, behind the big houses, the houses, you can see trees, but now you can no more see trees.
My other two friends here have been working in the field as journalists and reporting the news so that people know what's happening. And like François said, especially in the rural areas where it's very important to reach people. And while Dabo is not a rural area, it's still kind of rural. So they're all three doing amazing and important work, and I'm deeply, deeply grateful for your time today. My question is, what impact can the media have on raising awareness of?
Thank you very much. Going with what she has just said, I asked a question to one of my junior brothers that when you were born here, you find a tree, it's a mango tree. Backside, you find other trees. But when we ask you to cut something, you come and you cut the mango tree, knowing that this tree can give you something to eat, even when you don't have money. It means the importance of a tree. The environment that is around us, the environment that surrounds us is like a brace that our mom gave us. If you don't know its importance, it means that you don't know the importance of life. Because when you breathe, the air that you breathe comes from the environment. But you stay in a big building and you don't have natural air. Every time air condition, I think the day you get outside, you will see the real importance. So what media can do at this level is just to tell people, to educate, to sensitize people to say, here the environment has its importance. At the same time, you find it important to feed yourself every day, find the same importance to really protect the environment. Because when the environment is not protected, the way of thinking is very different. In the former time, we talk about people in Europe, they are more protective of environment, but with the time, they come to brainwash us, to tell us that if you don't protect environment, with the future, this is what you can have. But with this new generation, I'm sure that this can have an impact on our daily activities that can help us promote the protection of environment. So for me, as a media actor, it's very important to be focused. That's why I always talk about local development. In local development issues, people must be sensitized, because in our school, they tell us that we don't need to cut a tree. But in the village, they ask you, is it you that has planted this tree? This is the question. I've been living in village for more than 20 years. I've even cocoa plantation in my village. When you talk to them, they say, you get to school, you get your diploma, we don't have the same way of thinking. So it's a question of sensitizing, a question of education. But who can do that? Media actors. Media actors are not only those who stay in big cities, but you have to go toward the population in cities like Boaké, Korobo. Tell them that apart from my work of media actors, I'm also actors of development. This is what I can say.